What's going on, everybody? It's Kevin, the Fluffy Gun Guy, and on this episode we check out everything next level armament. Welcome back to another episode of Gear and Gun Reviews, the honest reviews. So today we're talking about next level armament. Now these guys have been around for a little while. They build rifles, they'll build accessories and everything else, but on today's episode we are specifically checking out their AR-15 in 223 Wylde, along with 4 muzzle brakes they sent us to do some testing on. Now I've had a lot of time with all the different muzzle brakes, and I have to say I'm really happy with the performance of each muzzle brake for what it's supposed to do. We have everything from the hybrid flash and comp. We have the speed brake, the high hilux hider, and the comp hider 223. So we're going to take a couple of shots with each one to show you the differences, and then we'll go back into a little bit more on the rifle itself. All right, guys, so we're out here going to be checking out the rifle as well as the muzzle brakes, but we're going to start with the muzzle brakes. This is the hybrid hider 223. This does very well with getting rid of a lot of the flash. And of course, I'm going to show you up closes of all of these muzzle brakes so you can get a better idea of what they look like. Does it control muzzle flip? Not the best. There are other ones that we're going to show you later that do much better at controlling muzzle movement, but this does a lot to get rid of a lot of the flash. I've shot this at night. I don't get a lot of crazy expulsion of flame or anything like that, but I do get a little bit of gas blow when it comes to a magnified. I can definitely tell when I've got some gas in front of a magnified optic. Not so much with a red dot. So let's take a couple shots with it and I'll show you what it looks like. As you guys can see, it does have a little bit of muzzle flip, but it's nothing too crazy. Overall, I think it works really well as a hider, and that's what it's designed for, guys. This is much more of a hider than a muzzle brake, but the next one we're going to show you, the speed brake, is awesome at muzzle control. All right, guys, so for the second muzzle brake today, we're going to be checking out the Speed Brake 223. Now, this is a design competition brake. This works very good at muzzle control. Doesn't get rid of a lot of gas because they're very directional when it comes to porting. And overall, as far as flash goes, you're going to get a little bit, but with any kind of magnified or a dot, you're not going to see a lot of it because it does use that gas very directionally, and you're not going to get any kind of crazy thing going up and out. So let's take a couple shots and I'll show you. So this is me without putting any pressure on the gun, just full mechanical. That would help, right, guys? So that's me without really pushing this gun. Now if I lean into this gun, that muzzle doesn't move. Runs a lot better, don't you think? So overall, this is my top choice if you're shooting a competition or you're really looking for true muzzle control. This is the Speed Brake 223. So let's check out something else that does a little bit of a different design for a hider. All right, so for the third muzzle brake, we have the high helix hider. This takes a very different idea when it comes to hiding muzzle flash. It's a very twisted, it looks really cool, and it works very well. There's something about the twist in this that really helps remove that gas out of your field of view and doesn't really cause a big muzzle flash. So let's take a look at this. Now, one thing with this muzzle brake that I was really impressed with was it does have a little bit of muzzle control involved with it as well. There's not a ton of movement in the muzzle. There is still some movement in the muzzle, but it's not terribly bad. All right, so we're going to finish off with our muzzle brakes with my favorite muzzle brake that they sent me. This is the Comp/Hider 223. This works really well at both jobs. Now, there's not a lot of them out there that do well on both, but this one does. It does great for muzzle control, does really great blowing those gases out the side instead of up to kind of get any kind of obstruction in a magnified optic or a dot. I think the speed brake is better at muzzle control to be able to transition targets, but multiple rounds on target quickly. But this does a better job than I believe the hybrid flash suppressor does for getting rid of that gas again so you don't have any obstruction. So take a couple shots and have you guys look. Now, one thing with this brake, this is more of a big chamber brake like a lot of them, so you are going to get a lot of gas coming out. You will feel this. But again, it does get rid of a lot of the concussiveness. It really minimizes recoil, and you guys just saw I didn't put a lot of lean into it. If I do, which I'm going to show you next, I can keep this muzzle really flat. Like I said, guys, this is my favorite so far. It looks good on a rifle, and it does both jobs very well. All right, guys, so enough about the muzzle brakes. Let's check out the actual rifle. Now, Next Level Armament sent me their 223 Wylde chambered AR. I love this rifle. I think the 223 Wylde chambering, it's a 1-in-8 twist, works really, really well with 55 grain standard ammunition that I've gotten from Trident. It's extremely accurate. I was about to show you guys out to 500 yards with this rifle, and it works very well. It's very comfortable. The look of the rifle is really nice. It is still a standard AR. It has the standard features, nothing too crazy, but I really do like this rifle. A couple of little things I don't like. Personally, I'm not a fan of the UTG Pro rail, only because pretty much all of my stuff is M-LOK. This is a screw-on for Picatinny mounts, but that's an easy pickup. And I don't like the texture on the side. I like a smoother rail. But again, that's my personal opinion. You guys might think this thing is gorgeous, and you might absolutely love it. A couple of things. It's got a standard Magpul buttstock, nothing crazy. Standard AR grip. It's got controls only on a regular side. It is not ambi, but I know that you can pick these up ambidextrous as well. The trigger is a standard mil-spec, but I think it's a little bit lighter. It's a very good break on the trigger, works very well. But what I'm most impressed with it is the accuracy of this rifle. This is not your standard run-of-the-mill AR that you might get lucky. This is a much more accurate rifle, and I'm about to prove it to you by shooting about 500 yards on some steel. All right, guys, so we're here at Aries. We're going to be shooting 100 out to 500. I'm going to show you how good this rifle actually is. We're using the PFI optics 1:6, real simple optic. I love this optic, and it has a true BDC in here, 4.556 out of a 16-inch gun. So let's go ahead and pop some targets. All right, so up first, 100 yards. Should do this no problem. Bang. All right, let's go to 200. There we go. 300. Bang. 4. This is a little bit trickier of a target because it's a little bit skinny. Clang. And last but not least, 500. This is going to be real tricky. Got a little bit of wind. Clang. Do one more. Clang. Hopefully you guys can pick up that sound. I know I'm on a lav mic, so it might not. Boom. All 3 rounds at 500 yards impacted perfectly. Guys, this is a ridiculously accurate rifle. I've had this thing out to 700 yards with my 3x12 PFI optic, and it was drilling targets at that distance. All right, guys, so that has been the video on the Next Level Armament rifle and muzzle brakes. So overall impressions on everything, guys. For one, the rifle is very, very good. In the 223 Wylde caliber that they sent me. I like the muzzle brakes for the most part. 2 small little things. For one, the hybrid flash suppressor, I'm not a super fan of. You do get a lot of expulsion of gas in the front of the gun itself, so running it through a magnified optic, you are going to see a lot of that. You're going to have some distortion, and if you shoot that thing inside, you're going to get a lot of gas blowing around inside of a room. So personally, I like the high helix better for something like that because it kind of throws more of the gas forward, out and away from you versus just out at the muzzle of the gun. The speed brake, awesome, awesome, awesome for competition. However, it's a bit concussive. Nothing too bad, guys. Please understand, I'm trying to find little nitpicky things so you guys can get my true opinion on these things. I think it works really, really, really well if you're shooting a competition, if you're doing more speed shooting, stuff like that, because it does keep that muzzle nice and flat. Now, the high helix, this was my surprise. I looked at it, and I meant, man, this is kind of gimmicky. It's all twisted. and it doesn't really make sense. However, the cuts that they have made in this, the way they have spun it, I don't know if it's voodoo magic or anything crazy like that, but it works. And it works really well for getting rid of that gas forward and away so you don't have a lot of stuff. And then, of course, my favorite, you guys know this by now, is the Comp / Hider 223. I think it is by far the best dual muzzle brake out there to help with flash hider as well as compensation with the muzzle. I don't have very much muzzle rise whatsoever at all. This has kind of now stayed on this gun after I've done a lot of the testing with the other muzzle brakes. But overall, guys, I am super impressed from the guys from Next Level Armament as far as their muzzle brakes. Now, the rifle, I've already talked about it, and I've said it a bunch of times, but the accuracy of this rifle is awesome. Couple of little nitpicky things. With today being a massively, massively big AR market, I would have liked to see dual controls on this lower. Now, is this a great basic AR that you can do a lot of upgrading to make it work very, very well? Yes. Does it already work very well? Yes. For a guy like me that is going to be transitioning from right side to left side, whether it's a barricade situation, indoor situation, something like that, I would have liked to see dual controls. However, I am going to upgrade this with a set of dual controls here very shortly because this is going to turn into pretty much my everyday AR. I have my other AR that I absolutely love where I have my CMC trigger in it. I have a JL rail in it. I really do like that. That was kind of a built from scratch rifle. But this one I think is sturdy enough to really, really do well with a lot of the testing that we're going to be doing here upcoming. A couple of little things that I really like about this rifle is the charging handle. I'm going to show you guys an up-close version of this. But the charge handle, everybody knows of Raptor, they have a dual side. However, with Raptors, you have to have the left side come open slightly to get it unlocked. The really cool thing that Next Level has done is hinged both sides. So where it doesn't matter what side you pull on, you're going to be able to open that bolt up and you're going to be able to charge that gun. Overall, I have had zero issues with this rifle. I think it is a great looking rifle. All of their cuts, all of the way they have set this up to look is really, really good. I love the big Next Level Armament just so people know that you're shooting a pretty kick-ass rifle. But overall, guys, I'm really happy with everything from Next Level. I'm going to be probably placing an order here very soon. And if you guys want any kind of information like that, please check out nextlevelarmament.com. Because of YouTube's new rules, I can't really link that in the description, but check that out. Also, big thank you to Trident Weaponry for supplying the ammo. You guys can get 10% off all of anything on their website with the code FLUFFY10, and Vertex for carrying all my junk out here with their new Range A bag, which we have a video coming out very soon. Guys, this is going to be an incredible, incredible year for gear and gun reviews. We have started a new channel. We have basically gotten a ton more stuff to show you guys, and hopefully we'll be seeing you guys at NRA very, very soon. Until next time, guys, like always, please like, follow, and subscribe because that's what keeps us alive. And until next time, we'll see you later.